Yeah. What's up with y'all, boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here with my guy, Chris Ruffolo, as we continue to cook up and break down this WNBA action. Welcome to the WNBA Layup session. Money Making Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a full card tonight, man. We got 5 games from the dub. We're just here to let you guys know our thoughts, our opinions, and how we see the night's action playing out. Chris, what's happening, my man? How you doing this morning?
Doing all right, man. Yeah, we're back with a 5-game WNBA card. You took the layup session one day, I took another day. I said, enough of this. Let's get back to hitting it up together, making some money. So, ready to break down the card with you, ready to see where our value lies, and ready to make some money. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Ready to, like you said, attack the board. Solid card today. Couple of sneaky spots, couple of tough spots, couple of, I think, really cool money-making spots. So I'm ready to talk through it. Like you said, ready to try to turn a profit on this beautiful money-making Tuesday. Let's do it. Let's do it. We start our day in New York, where the defending champs, the New York Liberty, are 10.5-point home favorites over my favorite team, my hometown team, the Dallas Wings. How you feeling here to start the day?
Yeah, for me here, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a good chunk of the card where I'm looking at overs, and this is one of them. For me, it's hard to lay 10.5 points for me with the Liberty, even though I do think they are the better team here. Because this team just has had issues covering big numbers for the better part of the season. But on the other side, you got the Dallas Wings, who are likely getting Diamond Miller in after the trade for Dejanay Carrington. But even at full strength, this is still a Wings team that's had issues defensively of their own this season. To me, I think this sets up as a bit of a game where you get both teams in the mid to high 80s or even the low 90s. And this one, I think this game probably finishes closer to 180. So I lean towards the over in Wings Liberty.
I lean towards an over in this one as well. I don't see a whole lot of defense being played in this one. Also, though, y'all know me. I love spots. I love situations, and this just happens to fall into a specific spot and situation I look for. And that's the bounce back game at home. That also happens to be a revenge game. Not only a revenge game, but a quick revenge game. The Liberty, they've been a night and day team this season. At home, you've been able to trust them. On the road, you haven't been able to trust them. They're coming off of a pretty decent-sized road trip. They didn't look good out there. I believe they failed to cover in all 4. They did win the most recent one. They should have won that one over the Connecticut Sun, the worst team in the league. They had to win that one after losing to that same team the game before, the Connecticut Sun. That road trip was not kind to them. On that road trip, that same road trip, they lost to the Dallas Wings in Dallas. It was a 10-point loss for the Liberty there. Coming back home, again, look at how dominant the Liberty have been at home. They're getting healthy again. I think tonight, in the bounce-back game at home, that also happens to be a quick revenge game. I think they flood my Dallas Wings tonight. Just not a good spot for Dallas. Give me the Liberty. I'll lay it with the defending champs here in this one. We keep it rolling, Chris. Our next game up, we got the Washington Mystics. They're out on the road facing the Chicago Sky. Sky, 7.5-point home dogs here in this one. The Sky have been terrible ATS of recent. They've been really banged up. Angel Reese has been out. Ariel Atkins has been out. Haley Van Lith has been out. I do see Atkins and Haley listed as GTD for this one tonight. Of all the games on the card, this is my least favorite. Even if those two are in the lineup, I just don't know how much I can trust Chicago. It would be a lean for me on Washington. Y'all know, though, if you watch the layup session for any duration of time or the morning show, I am kind of known as a Mystics hater in these streets. I don't deny it. And 7.5, laying this big of a number with this team on the road makes my stomach hurt. Forced to play this game, though, it would be a lean towards Washington. How you feeling, Chris?
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the over again here. Mainly because, you've got a Sky team that has been known to put up a couple of duds offensively, but they're also a team that's had major defensive issues. And last time these two teams faced off, they gave up 103 points to the Mystics. So a sluggish defensive performance like that, even if they give up in the high 90s, as bad as the Sky have been without Angel Reese, and if they didn't have Ariel Atkins, can still put up high 60s in this game to help us get over this total. I just think this line's a bit of an overreaction to certain things, certain aspects of the Sky season so far. The Mystics aren't necessarily a high scoring team, but they were when they played Chicago last time these two teams squared off. So I like the over 157.5 here.
Fair enough. We keep it rolling. We got the Fever out on the road facing the Los Angeles Sparks. Fever favorites on the road, 2.5-point road favorites. How are we feeling here?
Okay, so I like 3 overs today, and I promise everyone this is the final one. I like the over in this one. I do lean towards the Sparks as well. But again, you just have two teams that have been red hot. You have the Fever who've won 5 straight, have tremendous depth in this lineup. Without Caitlin Clark, we've seen the emergence of Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham. So I think DeWanna Bonner stepped up as well. So I like where the Fever are headed, but also the Sparks are finally starting to live up to the expectations that were set out for them at the beginning of the season. And for me, like I said, I think this just sets up as, a high scoring game, bit of a track meet here. If I were looking at a side, I would look towards the Sparks and the 2.5, but I think the over here is the better play for me.
For me in this one, I'm going to take the Sparks. I understand that the Fever are red hot. Been playing some of their best basketball of the season, even without Caitlin. I just don't like the spot for them tonight. They've lost to the Sparks in both meetings they've played them this season, 85-75 on the 26th of June, and then 89-87 in Indiana on the 5th of July. So they just haven't played the Sparks all that well this season, losing both their home games to this team, now expected to win on the road. I just don't trust them. The Sparks have played really well in their own right, one of the hottest teams in the dub, winners of 4 of their last 5. They just lost their last home game to the Aces, so they're motivated to come in here and play well tonight. It would be LA for me in this spot. Fever got to show me they can beat the Sparks, and right now I just don't believe they can. And I don't think they should be expected to do so either. Give me LA. Attack plus money or points in my back pocket. We keep it rolling, man. We got the Sun and the Mercury. Mercury, 14.5-point home favorites here in this one. This one's fairly easy, short, sweet, simple for me. I'm leaning towards the Mercury. I still think the Sun are the worst team in the league. They've been better of recent as huge underdogs. But I think the Mercury flood them in a spot like this. The Mercury are not a team I usually like laying extended numbers with. But I think the line's justified here in this one. I think this is kind of a what's supposed to happen style game. The talent gap between these two teams, I do think is pretty significant. Small lean for me on Mercury laying it. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Sun and the points in this one. The thing about the Phoenix Mercury is I've been a big backer of the Phoenix Mercury this season. I think from a talent perspective, this core of Satu Sabali, Alyssa Thomas and Kalia Copper is a top 4, top 5, starting rotation in the WNBA. The problem is the Mercury are just 2-2 against the spread as a double-digit favorite this season, with both covers coming against the Chicago Sky, who we just alluded to have not been very good this season. But one of the non-covers came against the Connecticut Sun in the first meeting, and the Mercury also have a loss outright as a double-digit favorite as well this season. For me, the Sun have just been a very profitable double-digit dog this season, even though they are on the road. Both these teams are fully healthy. So I think that this is a very similar game to what we saw from the Sun against the Liberty. Mercury win comfortably, Sun sneak in the back door and get the cover with the points.
Fair enough. And last and final game of the night. Got a monster matchup. It took a little hamper because of some of the injury news, but still a good one. We got the Seattle Storm at home at the crib, 1.5-point home favorites over the team with the best record in the WNBA, the Minnesota Lynx. How are we looking at this game tonight, Chris?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Storm here. Like you said, the injury news with Napisa Collier missing a couple weeks because of an ankle issue really, takes some of the luster off of this game. But I just think that while there are certain injuries or certain players that may not factor too much into, a team's success, I think Nafisa Collier is a bit of an exception to the rule. I think that, as much as I like Courtney Williams and some of the pieces that the Lynx have, there's a reason Collier is the front runner for MVP. She is just a huge difference maker for this Lynx team. The Storm have been wildly disappointing and inconsistent for me this season, especially at home, where I expected them to be a lot better. But, coming off of back-to-back losses, a chance to kick the Lynx while they're down, I think the Storm defend home court and get the job done here. But like I said, obviously would love to have Collier back, but beggars can't be choosers. So I lean towards the Storm here on the money line.
I'm going to lean towards the Lynx. I just think they're the best team in the WNBA. I know I've ran from it a lot this season. I've tried to hold on and say the Liberty are. And honestly, if you want me to be 1,000% honest, if you asked me who I think wins the WNBA title, I'm still going to say the Liberty. But based on what we've seen full season length, the Lynx have earned the respect of being the best team in the dub. I hear you in your argument about Nafisa Collier and how good she is, and you take her off of this team. How good would this team be? I think you'll see that tonight, just how good this team is completely. I understand that the Storm beat the Lynx already in Seattle once this season, handed the Lynx their first loss of the season. But I also think that's even more motivation for the Lynx to come in here and play hard, even without Nafisa Collier in the lineup. So you're giving me the best team in the league at plus money in a motivation spot. That's where I'm going to be. Sign me up. So last and final game of the night, ladies and gentlemen, I will be taking the Minnesota Lynx. That's it. That's all, though, man. We did it. We covered everything under the sun, all 5 games from the dub. We appreciate y'all joining us and tuning in and watching these shows, watching these episodes. Our favorite plays, the plays we have the most money on, you can find over at Pickdawgz Premium. Money Making Tuesday, Chris. 15 games from MLB, 5 games from the dub. Plenty of money making opportunities tonight. What you have going on over at Pickdawgz Premium today?
Yeah, for me today, got my MLB pickoff play on the board. Got a lot of baseball, 3-pack, including that League Baseball as well. Also got my WNBA play of the day too. So great time to hop on board for me today on Tuesday. The 3-day and 7-day passes are actually less than buying each of Tuesday's daily packages individually. Get you a few extra days worth of plays, but pair me up with Jay. Let's make you some money, whether it's MLB, WNBA, NFL preseason. We're here to make you some cash, but use that promo code PICK at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase.
Upon with the franchise, ladies and gentlemen, continue to kick the crap out of the books. For me today, Money Making Tuesday, I got 3 plays in total, 2 from Major League Baseball, 1 from the WNBA. Been kicking the crap out of the books in the WNBA for majority of the season. We are 33-17-1 on that play thus far this season. You can scoop it up over at Pickdawgz Premium. You can hop on a 3-day pass, like Chris said, or you can scoop up that 3-pack for today. Plenty of money making ways to do it. Let's continue to do it. Money Making Tuesday. Let's keep the momentum rolling. And that's it. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. We covered it all. We did it all. Let you guys know our thoughts on how we see tonight's action playing out. Chris, you got any final words before we get out of here for the day?
I hope everyone has a winning day. Let's cash some winners, and we'll see you guys back here next time we have one of these big WNBA cards.
See y'all there, man. Appreciate y'all more than y'all know. We out here. Peace.